evening, everybody, and welcome to the Chiefs Kingdom Show. And tonight we're at the Gaslight Grill, a fabulous location. Another huge crowd is with us tonight here at the Gaslight Grill. We're just south of 135th and Knoll in Leawood, in the southern part of the metro. So if you're around, we still got a little bit of room. We can fit you in here tonight. Dick Hawk, and this place is just tremendous. Of course, they have live jazz here most of the evenings throughout the week, and also a great place to host your holiday parties. This room that we're in tonight, we've got over about 150 fans in here tonight. And anyway, it's a great place to host your holiday party. So Gaslight Grill is our place tonight, so come join us. And we've got a very special guest tonight because after we talk to Andy Reid, we're going to talk to the man that I call Duck Dynasty. The greatest beard in the history of Chiefs football. Sean McGrath, our tight end, had a big game last night with 2 catches for 40 yards against the Denver Broncos. And so that leads us in. First of all, let me give a big shout-out to our fans here tonight. The Metcalf Bank folks are here tonight with a special sweet table we got for them. The Red Coaters are here. They do so much to help this franchise. The Taj Mahal Tailgaters, Susie Bling Bling's here tonight. Kent the Cake Baker all the way from Savannah, Missouri. Geeks are here tonight. Snowstorm Sandy, former homecoming queen. Autograph Geek, Sling Blade Geek. Weird Wolf, Weird Cub, and Weird Wife all here tonight. Riri Rah-Rah's here. And actually, we've got Reed's Redheads tonight with some new Reed's Redheads. Okay? They're a subsidiary of the Geeks and the Wolverines. It's kind of a merger. But we got 2 new Reed's Redheads here tonight. Sharice is here from Fort Scott, Kansas, who's part of Reed's Redheads tonight. And Emma is here tonight, a 7-year-old Reed's Redhead. And hopefully you'll get a shot of her as our video folks on our Time Warner Sports channel can take a look at Emma, who's one of our new Chiefs Kingdom icons. I will just tell you that. Also, Casey Sheff is here tonight. And the Lake Lotawana Lake Rats. Princess Lake Rat, Little Princess Lake Rat, who's not so little princess anymore, just committed to play soccer at Missouri Southern for the Lions. That's awesome. And also Big Daddy Lake Rat is here handling security along with the real security dude, Brian Schaefer, and Ryan here. We got all kinds of security dudes. Also, the Red Hots are here tonight. Don't want to leave the Red Hots out. And so a lot of special folks here this evening. Okay. All right. Here we go, because we're going to handle this tonight because really tonight starts a brand new season, in my opinion. What's exciting is for only the 4th time in a 15-year span, the Kansas City Chiefs are in mid-November and in first place with a real shot to win the AFC West, which, by the way, is the toughest division in the National Football League. The Chiefs are tied at 9-1 with a rival that was the prohibitive favorite in July to be the AFC champion. The Chiefs, on the other hand, were not expected to be here at all. The only thing they were prohibited was from being in this discussion in July. The fact of the matter is the Chiefs are here. And it's a 6-game season that begins tonight and starts with this week's game against the San Diego Chargers at Arrowhead Stadium. And we can open up Arrowhead and let it rip again against Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. Now, most of you know I do a lot of college basketball games. And I got some favorite coaches from coast to coast. There's a guy here tonight from Channel 9 who's from the state of Virginia. And one of my favorite coaches in college basketball is a dude named Tony Bennett, who's the University of Virginia coach. Tony's dad, Dick, was legendary coach at the University of Wisconsin. Prior to that, at University of Green Bay. And Bo Ryan, now at Wisconsin, kind of has been a prodigy of them, has carried on. But they have a slogan that we adopted in our family, actually. Of course, my wife played college sports. My kids played college sports. But our slogan is play on. No matter the situation, you play on. And Tony Bennett has made a career of those 2 words, basically, and his teams are some of the toughest in college basketball. So tonight the mantra is play on. And, of course, with the Chargers and Phillip Rivers with 1L coming to town, it'll be time to put the hammer down. And that's right. And also, we've got the book of sealed signatures here, signed when it looked like to be the darkest in Chiefs history by hundreds of Chiefs fans. We sealed it on that night. It'll be open only when the Chiefs win a postseason game, and that will be a glorious night. All right, it is a 6-game season. The Kansas City Chiefs are 9-1. They are tied in the toughest division in the AFC with the team that's also 9-1, just a half game back of Seattle, who's in the NFC with the NFL's best record at 10-1. It is time to play on. And when we come back, we're going to play on with head coach Andy Reid. When we come back, again, we're at Gaslight Grill at just south of 135th and Null. We'll be back after this on the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
City's on the board with a red zone touchdown.
Welcome back. Touchdown there from Alex Smith to Dwayne Bowe. Again, it was a night of working uphill. Kind of tough to do that against the Denver Broncos, particularly in Denver, and the Chiefs lose the game 27-17, and now tied with the Broncos at 9-1 atop the AFC West Division. Before we bring in Coach, who is at his office at One Arrowhead Drive, kind of a sad note, and a lot of you people who have been here for years will remember Kevin Zero McGee. Just like a lot of you, had an incredible love for the Kansas City Chiefs and just had a great spirit. He was always part of our homecoming celebrations. You remember Zero passed away actually this weekend. A staunch Chiefs Kingdom supporter and a great guy actually. Was a K-Stater, a big K-State fan, and so too soon, he passed away. All right, again, we're at Gaslight Grill, Dick Hawk's outstanding place. We're at 135th and Briar, just south of, or 137th and Briar, just south of 135th and Knoll in the Leawood, Kansas area, and another fabulous crowd tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man who leads this football team as we go into this 6-game season and starting this weekend with the San Diego Chargers. Give a big welcome to the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid.
All right, Mitch, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. And you were in Green Bay in the 90s on that fabulous staff of Coach Holmgren. Do you remember Dick and Tony Bennett and Bo Ryan? Because they were at Wisconsin, at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay for the longest time.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Great basketball family.
And they're some of my favorite coaches, but they always had the mantra, play on, which we adopted with the teams we coach and with our family. And I just thought it was kind of apropos tonight. What about playing on now after coming out of that game and attacking this week?
Well, listen, Mitch, what you do is you learn from your mistakes. This is no different than life. So, I mean, that's how you go about it, and then you get back to work. So that's what we do, and we're already deep into the Chargers and their football team, and there's a respect for them, and our players will come in and they'll feel that when they look at the tape and they study them, and then we'll get ourselves ready to play against a good football team. One thing I'll tell you is it'll be good to bring them right here into Arrowhead.
And we can't wait for that, to bring the Chargers in here on this Sunday to take on Phillip Rivers and the San Diego Chargers. But I was going back through your career, and I think the strongest part of the Chiefs attacking this week and the next 6 weeks is the fact that you've been through this so many times. In your 14 years in Philly, Andy, you were in this spot year after year after year. So coming in mid-November, just taking it a week at a time, but coming off a game like that, what from your experience helps you the most as you go into this week?
Well, I think history tells you that there are not a lot of teams that go undefeated in the National Football League. That's not saying you don't try. I mean, you're trying to win every stinking game, and the fellas did that. I mean, we went up to Nedmer, and they fought their tails off. They got us. I mean, they got us. All right, so now you get yourself back, and you let that sink in, and it hurts. I mean, you're going to feel it for 24 hours. You're going to feel it, and it better hurt, or you didn't spend enough time and dedication getting ready for the game. So you get that out of your system, and then you get yourself ready to play the Chargers and a good football team. So that's where we're at.
But I like this team, and I have every bit of faith in them that they're going to rebound nicely. Let me ask you, as we review last night's game a little bit, I want to ask you about the trenches, starting on the defensive side, or at least the front seven, just having no sacks on Manning. The official stats had no quarterback hurries or pressures, and I saw some on tape, but what about just the fraction of a second you were lacking in making something bad happen for Peyton?
Well, that's someone got the ball off in about 1.5 seconds on an average, and that's getting it out quick. So you weren't going to get a whole lot of hits on them, even if you had people free. You saw the one where Eric Berry was free and barely touched him, and the ball was already out. And so that's about as clean a shot as you're going to get. The thing you've got to do is, when he gives you an opportunity, which he gave us about 3 of them to intercept them, then you got to take advantage of those, and we can learn from that. We can cheat Eric Berry up another couple feet, so maybe he gets that hit on the line. But there are things you can do as a coach to help the player out, putting him in a better position. Same way on the offensive side. So we've got to do our part as coaches and players collectively to be able to this week get after the Chargers.
Well, let me ask you a little more about the offense, because I'm going to stay in the trenches here. Statistically, they had 5 hurries on Alex and then the 3 sacks, and there were some yards lost in those sacks, about 23 yards or so. What about the trenches on the other side? I know you alluded to it. What did you see on tape in kind of losing some of those battles?
Yeah, well, they got us, right? So, and actually, on one of the hurries, they probably should have had another sack. We didn't pick up a blitzer on our outside right, and we've got to do a better job with picking those up and seeing them. again, we've got young guys up front there that are learning on the move here, and we're getting better, but we've still got we've still got room to improve. So we're doing that, and listen, sacks get blamed on those front guys. Everybody's got a little piece of the pie. I can make the call better. The quarterback can get it out quicker. The receivers can get themselves open versus man coverage better. That's what we saw last night. And so everybody can do their job a little bit better, and you cut back on those sacks when you do that.
Situational football, I want to ask you, there's four possessions where you held them, the missed field goal and 3 punts, and so you had 4 possessions, still down by just 1 score, but nothing happened to those. What about situationally did you see when you looked at the tape of what went awry there, of at least trying to chip into that 17-10 lead?
Well, exactly. I mean, you take the first 3 series of the second half. Our defense did a phenomenal job, and our offense wasn't able to capitalize with points. We had 2 of those 3 possessions where we had pretty good field position, so you've got to take advantage of that. And then another time during the turnover, defense did a great job at getting a turnover in the first half there. It was within the first 19 plays, and you've got to make sure you capitalize on that. It was 3-0 at that time, and here we've got the ball inside the 20 and an opportunity to at least get a field goal with 3 or a touchdown, and then we gave the ball right back to them. So, and that wasn't a lack of effort or anything else. The defender put his helmet right on the ball, and you got to make sure that you cover it with a couple hands there, and so on. So those are things that you go through, and you analyze, and we're given situations. We got to take advantage of those, but we have to learn why. It's not just good enough to say that. Let's learn why and the what's of what happened there. Let's get ourselves better so the next time we're in that situation, which will be this weekend, Sunday at noon. I know everybody's going to be out there, man. Sunday at noon against the Chargers, and we'll be better. That's right.
They're ready to go.
I know they are. I love that.
It's play on, man. It's play on.
I love that.
You had some plays that were huge plays. They were huge plays. To the tight ends, you were able to get them involved. Sean McGrath's here tonight, Duck Dynasty. You got him a couple big plays, and then Fasano was involved and got the touchdown late. What about your tight end involvement last night in your offense?
Well, the reciprocal, and he'll tell you why I call him that. He had that's the one sitting right next to you there, McGrath, and so he had 2 of our biggest plays as far as yardage and yards after catch and so on. So, and that's a tribute to the tight ends and the work that they do in the middle. That's kind of the dirty zone in there, and they get in there and get busy. So, and the quarterback likes that area of the field and utilize them. We've got to continue to do that. We've got to get more explosive plays. I got to make sure I'm dialing these things up where I give these guys an opportunity to make those plays, and then when given the opportunity, again, we had a couple things go in the first 20 plays of that game that we can learn from, one of which was a deep throw that we weren't able to quite get a handle on, and we got to make those, right? We got to make those and then continue to make them throughout the game, all 4 quarters, and get a few more points on the board.
What'd you see on tape? Routes, finishing plays? Because it just like you were on the cusp of getting a bunch of them.
Yeah, well, listen, they played man coverage, so everything's not going to look pretty against man coverage, but the one thing they give you an opportunity to do is have explosive plays, and so you might not have the big chunks as consistent because they're trying to put pressure on you, but at the same time, you've got to get these explosive plays and gash them when you're given the opportunity, and we didn't do quite good enough job on that.
Okay, the injury front, the trenches, meaning staying on the trenches, you lose 2 defensive linemen, Tyson Jackson, Mike DeVito. Mike went out early. What about those 2 guys?
Well, yeah, they're going to try to get themselves ready to play, and then it's just going to be a matter of time here, and we'll see how things work. Both of them are day-to-day, and I tell you, DeVito's probably a little bit more severe than maybe what Tyson is right now, although both of them are hurting. But we'll see. We'll take it day by day and see how they do.
Those guys have both given you high level of play, man. Their effort has been outstanding when I watch them on tape.
Yeah, they're playing well.
And then on the offensive side, you ended up with backup right guard, backup right tackle. Stevenson, Schwartz had to come in. So what about Asamoah and Eric Fisher?
Yeah, I'd probably tell you Asamoah is in a little better shape than Fisher. Again, both of them are day to day, and we'll see how they do as the week goes on. But they'll both give it a shot. Getting ready to see what they can do there.
All right, we're flipping the switch. It's play on. Here come the San Diego Chargers. Let's kind of get into these guys a little bit. Offensively, Phillip Rivers is a veteran. Ryan Matthews had a big day yesterday kind of running downhill. What do you see when you prepare for San Diego?
Yeah, well, he can do that. Matthews can do that. Now, he's a big kid that can run, and their quarterback's playing as good as any quarterback in the National Football League right now. So. And he's got a tight end that's not bad. They've got some weapons, and another great challenge for the Chiefs defense, and I know that our guys are going to be ready for him.
And another good front. Legit's been tough. I mean, he got to Manning a couple times. That's kind of part of the ankle issues. And they got some young guys. Butler, the linebacker. They got Teo in this draft. What do you see in San Diego's defense?
Yeah, their front seven's explosive. They move around and they make plays. They do get pressure on the quarterback. They've got a coordinator there, the defensive coordinator, that's a pretty good coordinator. So he's from the Pagano family, man, and so he brings the heat, and you gotta bring your A game. He's going to give you a bunch of different looks, and you've got to study it and make sure that you get in there and you're playing fast and furious against him.
Well, we're going to let you go. But before we do, we appreciate you being with us tonight. It just seems like, though, you relish these challenges. I don't think you have any enemies in the NFL. Everybody respects you and likes you, but you like taking on the Paganos or the Mike McCoys, and every week you look forward to the challenge. And what about that, to just relish the challenge of going up against guys that you consider friends, I guess?
Well, that's why we do this. People talked about last week about, hey, Peyton Manning's banged up. We don't want Peyton Manning banged up, man. We want everybody playing. We want your best shot, and that's how we go. So that's why we do this thing, and I feel the same way this week. Hey, we're going to prepare our tail off to make sure we're the best we possibly can be against the San Diego Chargers, and we want them to do the same thing. Let's go, man. Let's play.
All right. Against the Chargers, it'll be time to put the hammer down. Before we go, I want to ask you about the facial hair of Sean McGrath. You have some very famous facial hair yourself. It's become probably the most famous bit of facial hair in the Chiefs' kingdom. What about McGrath and this thing he's got?
Real men wear hair on their face. No, he's just got he's a little bit more man than all of us, I'm going to tell you.
Well, the second thing I'm going to say before we go, we've added to the ranks of Reed's Redheads, and 7-year-old Emma's here tonight. I'll get you a picture, Coach. I'll bring you one. But right now, this is one of your biggest supporters here at 7 years old, and she's ready to go, man.
All right, babe. And Emma, you fire. That was my mother's name, by the way. But Emma, you fire that redhead up that's on the other side of this mic with me and get him going a little bit.
Well, he was destined, Emma, to be the head coach here because he's Big Red. So he was supposed to be here all along, and you were supposed to be here. His mom's name was Emma, and she's got the real red head too, man. So awesome. Andy, thanks for being with us tonight. Go get San Diego.
All right, Mitch, thanks.
Head coach Andy Reid, ladies and gentlemen, of your Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are 9-1, tied for first in the division. It's a 6-game season. Here we go. Play on. We'll come back with the bearded one, Sean McGrath. We come back. We're at Gaslight Grill, just south of 135th and Knoll and Briar. We'll return after this. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Chiefs football.
sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. What? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I follow the Phoenix Cat back on Twitter, and they always post what they're watching. Sometimes it's like it's lonely, so it's different places, but they usually which is because it's not a stuff. Cactus
Charles to the right of Smith, stays in the shotgun. This time his feet. Now he staggers it, waits for the snap, looks at the center of the end zone, zips it for the end zone, caught! Touchdown! Kansas City! Touchdown! Duck Dynasty! It's Sean McGrath, fear the beard! It's his first NFL touchdown!
One of the most fun touchdowns of the entire season against the New York Giants, and he's here tonight. And we're here at Gaslight Grill, a great location. Dick Hawk has got just an amazing place here, and a ton of fans here tonight. A crowd that is huge. And this tight end has been huge. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sean McGrath, Duck Dynasty.
Hey, glad to be here.
And Andy calls you reciprocation, or is reciprocal or something?
Reciprocal.
What's that about?
Come on, there's some math people out there, huh?
Okay, yeah.
Reciprocal. So what's the reciprocal of 1/2? 1 over 2. Yeah, it's 2.
It's 2.
So
Right.
said when I was young, I could only grow hair on my head.
Okay, all right.
And now that I've gotten to the age where I can grow it on my face and not on my head, so reciprocal.
Gotcha. It's that's a little weird, but that's okay. We'll go with that. Let's take first things first, and that's last night's game. Losing to the Denver Broncos, expected a knockdown drag-out. That's exactly what it was. Just kind of walk through that game from your perspective.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow. Anytime you lose, you get used to winning. Every game in the National Football League is going to be a tough one, and playing out there in Denver, it's it was pretty good atmosphere, but we shot ourselves in the foot too many times to overcoming. We're playing a team of that caliber. It's hard to come back from that. So
there are opportunities. We talked about the 4 straight possessions where it could have chipped into a 17-10 lead, possibly even taken the lead, and then the fumble early in the game. But it was nice to see the tight ends get dialed up. You were targeted 3 times, had 2 catches, 40 yards. What about your 2 catches?
Yeah, the first one was X divide, and they were playing to cover 2 to it, and it was take a shot to Donnie there over the top, and I was just checked down, sitting right there in the middle. So, and then the other one was a little shallow cross, and I got lost. Anthony did a great job of picking the whole defender there, and just run, baby.
The cool one, yeah. You ran pretty good actually. Beard didn't slow you down at all. The wind currents, I know, were kind of you were kind of. I was trying to figure out the wind currents. It's slowing you down by reciprocation of 0.37.
Yeah, the
millicules
altitude
of-
throws all that
Yeah,
off.
that was weird. I was trying to compute it all at the same time. But let's go to your first one because you were wide open. I watched you on tape today. Of course, doing the play-by-play, I see you get open. Are you sitting there going, Alex, I'm open? I mean, you can't sit there and wave your arms, but you're like, I'm open. I'm right here.
Yeah, I know what he's doing. He's going through his progression. He's looking for Donnie deep, and as soon as that, safety bails, and the linebackers kind of lost me in translation. Thought I was going the deep over there. So I was right there, just kind of just waiting for him to come down to me.
I loved it when you tricked the linebacker. He just ran right by you. It was like Top Gun. Hit the brakes, they go right by you. It was pretty cool.
Yep.
Let's go to your second one, which was real cool because that was yards after catch.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What about that play?
Yeah, I caught the ball way cleaner that time. Caught it with my hands and was able to transition well, get up the field. And, Debo did a great job blocking on the edge, which our receivers do, big bodies out there. And, I put a little out there and, tried to get up the sideline. If I would have had a little bit more balance, man, I think I might have been out there. But
Give it that again on replay. Now, we do have this show's now on video, of course, at the Time Warner Sports Channel, so they'll see it. But we've got 70 stations carrying the show tonight. So give us again. It was what? It was a... Man, that's fabulous. You could bottle this stuff and sell it. By the way, a very cool sweatshirt. This is custom made. Tell us about it.
Hey, gotta give love to the Chiefs Kingdom, So had this shirt right here. Did a little calligraphy job going here. So
Is this you? I mean, you did this here by
it's
yourself?
me, baby. It's custom made.
Wow. That's
Sharpie.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Don't tell that table of geeks or that red coaters or that group, or you're going to have some fabulous fast friends, quite honestly. But that's outstanding. All right, let's go all the way back to that crazy Sunday. And the crazy Sunday was right after the supposed last cuts. You get cut by the Seattle Seahawks. Kind of walk us through those hours and what happened.
All right. Well, so it's the last day of cuts. I'm thinking I'm in the clear pretty much. I've been at the facility all day, and I'm packing up my stuff to leave. I just got a workout in, and they call him the Grim Reaper comes up, and you can grab your iPad. They want to talk to you upstairs.
But you had no idea it was coming. You thought you'd made the team.
Yeah, and it was a surprise to me, and for the better that it happened, but it's something that you don't really, go through, and you can't really experience it until you go through it yourself, because it's like, boom, you're off a team, you're out of a job, and your agent's working for you, and then the next day it's pack up all your stuff, you're going to Kansas City.
That's awesome.
So it's like,
So like, listen to this, it's like watching the movie and you're going, oh, this is awful. And then you go, wait a minute, it turns out okay. So now you're in Kansas City.
Yeah.
You have to be in a whirlwind, right? You're thinking, what's going on? It's red. It's not.
Yeah, I was like,
kind of weird looking blue. And
yeah, it's good to get back to prime colors, But
you look good in red, by the way.
Oh yeah, I do. Reddies. Henderson State Reddies are Reddies.
We're getting to that in a second. We're ahead of that after the break.
Yeah, but I was thinking Midwest. Close to home. Family's gonna come out a lot. So I was just happy to have a job, really. And I really didn't even look at last year, because it was all irrelevant. Every team that you compile from year to year is going to be different. This team isn't going to be the same as next year. No matter how many people stick around. So I'm just trying to cherish the moment and live in it. And I'm having fun doing it.
Well, you've handled it great, and we're cherishing it. The fact that you were here and getting that touchdown against New York. What was that like?
Oh man,
with 78,000 people going bananas.
Yeah, it's exhilarating, boy. The place just erupted, and I get goosebumps thinking about it. But it's a good feeling, and I'm hoping to get that feeling sometime soon here.
So when did you hear the call Duck Dynasty? Now, they played it that day in the stadium later in that one clip that they play in the second half.
Right.
Did you hear it then?
Yeah, I heard it.
And?
Yeah. No, I love the Duck Dynasty stuff. I'm embracing all of it. It's all good fun. And, anything to get the fans involved, I'm down for it. And whatever gets you all screaming and, loud, that's
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, This is Kingdom tradition, and this is the most famous piece of hardware in the Chiefs' kingdom. The Chargers are coming to town. You're a part of the kingdom now, through and through. You got your tricked-up cool shirt. So, with Sean McGrath being the tight end, part of the waivers 7, part of this 9-1 start at the division-leading Kansas City Chiefs against San Diego this week, it's time to put the hammer down. You got it. Sean McGrath is our guest tonight. We are going to get into more of the beard. Fear the beard and find out more about this fascinating guy when we come back. We'll be back after this. We're again on the Chiefs Kingdom Show at the Gaslight Grill. Back after this on the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
Smith has time. He's got McGrath wide open at the 40, at the 45-yard line, and McGrath gets up to midfield. A 22-yard pass to Sean McGrath. The Cowboys lost him.
Yeah, fear the beard. Sean McGrath. The Cowboys lost him, and we found him. He's here tonight. Sean McGrath, Duck Dynasty here, and again, we're at Gaslight Grill, a great location for your holiday party. And this room, in fact, it's about 200 folks in the room, and so this is a great place to have your company holiday party. All right, Chiefs lose last night to the Denver Broncos. Getting ready, though. It's Chargers week to try to get ready. Philip with 1L is coming to town, Arrowhead Stadium, but we do have to bring up the Time Warner turning point play of the game. And usually we like it when it's one of our guys, like a McGrath, making a touchdown, but because of this situation, here it is. Last night's Time Warner Cable turning point play of the game.
Smith the throw, throws it left flat. Sherman with the catch. Hit immediately, drives forward, hit in the stomach, and now he fumbles the ball. Sherman fumbles, and Denver's got it back at the 15-yard line.
There you go. That turned it around. Otherwise, we might have taken the lead on those guys and could play downhill a little bit. Otherwise, kind of uphill feeling all night, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some, swings in the game. You got to be able to handle it with, an even keel and just keep on going up is the idea. So
that play was huge. Okay, but we're going to have good, huge plays coming up this week. Interesting, though, about Sherman. In the locker room after the game, I got to do a lot of post-game stuff, but you see me come down. I try to connect with as many guys as I can. The day of your touchdown, Sherman comes over. He's probably 50 yards away, and he comes waddling over. You know how he's got that little sausage waddle he's got. And he just gets up in my face, and he goes, Duck Dynasty, awesome. He was more excited about your touchdown than his, I think.
I think he likes the show a lot more.
Well, he likes the beard now.
Oh, yeah,
he does
yeah.
like that. So let's talk about the beard. How did it start? Where did we get it? And you've got a whole – this is a whole very philosophical taking care of this. You could have your own channel like the food channel. It'd be the beard channel. Okay, so how did it start?
All right, so last year when I had been growing it during the season, and I would shave it from time to time, and people would get pissed. I mean, they'd be like, why'd you shave your beard? I'd be like, because it was getting hot or whatever it would have been. But I decided to grow it out around March. My dad's birthday is St. Patty's Day, the 17th, and I was like, I'm just gonna let it ride. And I've been growing it ever since, and it's been working thus far, and I'm just gonna keep on rocking it until February.
But you
at least.
Love it. And everybody's tried to grow them. I mean, some people at the show even try to grow some facial hair. I as well, but I look like Tom Hanks on Castaway when I try it. No. But you blow dry it, you shampoo it. I mean, you got extensions in it. What?
No,
I mean,
no extensions.
No extensions.
All natural.
But Sherman was telling me, he goes, man, the guy's like spends so much time work. How much time do you spend on it, like combing it?
But I don't really, I'll shampoo and condition it. I'll say every other day. My sister is in the hair business, so she, may or may not have sent me some product for it.
Okay.
But I comb it from time to time and make it look presentable. If it's going to be on my face, might as well make it look nice.
Do birds try to nest in that thing?
I've had a couple get curious, but none have.
I was gonna say it looks like there's some eggs in there on this. So anyway, but that's that is quite a thing. All right, now Henderson State, Arkansas.
Henderson State U.
The nickname of the Henderson State Division II sports teams are the
Reddies, maybe.
The Reddies. Not R-E-A-D-Y, R-E-D-D-I-E-S. Now, what's the story of that? How they're the Reddies?
Well, so some time ago, the whole university burnt down to the ground.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so the whole idea behind a Ready is it's a spirit. It's not something tangible, and it's kind of the whole cohesiveness of the community coming together and rebuilding after that fire. And it's just that spirit, that old Ready spirit they call it. So
that is awesome. Now we got the Red Hots, we got the Red Coders, we got the Geeks, but we have Reed's Redheads. Okay, really, Andy kind of started this, and we've added to the ranks tonight because Emma's right here, 7 years old, ready.
Already.
Go right down the line here. There's Lisa, Sharice, and Leslie, and Sydney. So Reed's Redheads are right here. They're ready. R-E-D-D-I-E-S.
Okay.
So
I'm telling you what, my little niece might be a little redhead.
Well, there you go. Emma's got some company.
Yeah.
We got another. The ranks are growing as we speak.
Yep.
So, big rivalry you've got. In fact, they just played it. I think Henderson State plays Washita Baptist or.
Oh yeah, they played them last Saturday. It was a triple overtime thriller. They weren't supposed to give us any problems, but Henderson State prevailed, 11-0, rolling into playoffs, second time in a row going undefeated in the regular season. Last year we lost first round, first time making his playoffs ever in school history.
Wow.
So we'll come back with a little bit more experience and one game at a time. That's
well,
the idea, huh?
Our newest redhead too, Sharice, with the University of Arkansas, so she's Woo Pig Suey. Where's Henderson State? Is it country? Is it down south?
It's in Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
Ooh, okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Here you go. How's Arkadelphia, Arkansas?
It was good. I actually shot down there during the bye week, checked out the seniors play, and it's nice to get away and enjoy the natural state.
That's the natural state.
Yep.
Okay. You're originally from Mundelein, Illinois. For those, it's kind of the north burbs of Chicago as you head towards Wisconsin. Is your family okay? Because Illinois, in fact, Andy Studebaker, former chief, now with the Colts, his were right in the ground zero area there, Washington, just east of Peoria, Illinois.
Right.
Are your folks okay up at Mundelein?
Yeah, they're doing well. They're actually at the Denver game, but we're north of the city, so I mean, fortunately, we were able to not really get hit that bad by the storms there. So.
Well, good for you guys, but kind of remember those folks in Central Illinois in your prayers. Of course,
Yep.
we've dealt with it here.
Right.
We come back. We're going to talk a little bit about the Chargers and close things out, but fear the beard, ladies and gentlemen. Duck Dynasty is right here with us tonight. We'll be back to close out the show here at Gaslight Grill at Chiefs Kingdom. After this, you're listening to exclusive coverage of Chiefs football.
Is my name Cynthia? He retweeted me twice. He retweeted me twice. And I took screenshots of the email. I said, it's very easy. I just make No, it's a rap song.
He ushers them out of here like he's
Like he's taking them to Air Force One.
I'm gonna need you to back up. I'm coming right through there. Seriously.
You're 25 and she's 24. You need to switch places. No, I knew you were going to
One test bit. I said, no, I got to act it.
I wanted to see
I was trying to test it. Coming back there, I said,
Alex Smith to throw, fires it right side, McGrath's got it, 40-45, up across the 50, and Duck Dynasty stays on his feet, and they don't get him out of bounds until he gets to the Denver 44-yard line. As Denver's defense is going, who's this bearded dude? It's a 21-yard pass play to Sean McGrath.
Who's this bearded dude? He's with us tonight, Sean McGrath, part of the Magnificent Seven of John Dorsey, General Manager John Dorsey. What a great dude he is. Man, that guy, that great GM for this franchise. He did a fabulous job in finding you guys, too.
I would agree.
Yeah. And you guys kind of got a little bond, like Cooper and, I mean, Jay Howard. I mean, you got Desmond Moses. It's like you got your own little draft class fraternity, guys.
Yeah, it's cool. I always see him early in the morning, and I mean, you know, he's in there grinding just like us. You know, it's always great to see. You know, it comes down to levels. You know, you see how hard they're working, and you know, it just only motivates you. So
he is a good dude. All right, San Diego Chargers coming to town. What do you think? Here we go.
I'm excited. I bet Chiefs Kingdom is excited too, boy. Yeah.
What's interesting though, for lack of a better term here, being in a pennant race, a 6-game schedule, tied at 9-1 and 9-1. But you went through this. You got a little experience. What did you go through with Seattle last year, and how similar was it to prepare you for this stretch?
Right. Yeah. You know, when it gets down to the end of the season, it's all about finishing. You know, and every game down the road becomes more and more important. You know, it's just being able to keep the mindset of one game at a time, and you know, just taking that approach and doing what you got to do to prepare for the team that you're playing that week, and not looking ahead. I mean, sometimes it's, you know, tempting to look ahead and be like, oh, you know, playoffs. But I mean, you can't be in that mindset.
Well, go get him. The best beard, I think, in probably Chiefs history. It's, you know, the whole Duck Dynasty thing. It's like Old Testament. I'm just trying to figure this all out. But that, dude, I got to tell you, that's a heck of a beard.
Oh, thank you.
And it's great to have you here. One more time before we go. You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Sean McGrath against the Chargers. 6 games to go. Let's win this division. It's time to put the hammer down. Baby, you got a shot.
Let's go.
That is pretty cool, buddy. That's some precious stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for being with us tonight. Go get him. Go back to the end zone again so I can barrel it out again.
Hey,
That's good to do it. All right, great to have you with us. Sean McGrath, again, one of the great stories of this 2013 Kansas City Chiefs team. Next week, we are back at Dave & Buster's, okay, at the Speedway, the Legends area. Brandon Flowers will be our guest. Left corner, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Virginia Tech Hokie. Thanks to Sean McGrath. Thanks to all of you. Remember, this week, it's play on as the Chargers come to town to Arrowhead Stadium. Thanks for joining us this evening. Thanks to Drake. Thanks to Brian Schaefer. Thanks to Kelly, KSA, Kick Some Butt. And thanks for joining us tonight on the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
Kansas City!
You've been listening to Chiefs Kingdom, brought to you by